Serious lah?
Yep. What's up, guys?
Woo.
Welcome to a new episode of
Nois Stof.
My name is Azman.
And I am Sufyan.
All right, thank you for, waiting for our next episode.
Woohoo.
Okay, so we're just gonna act out of it today. Today is the 30th of August. It's Merdeka Eve.
Wow.
So as you can see, we've,
check that
did a
out.
bit of decoration.
We have a big flag behind us.
Our flag,
Our
Malaysian flag.
Jalur Gemilang.
Yeah, Jalur Gemilang. Stripes of glory.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is a Merdeka special.
Woo, yep.
Yeah, so in conjunction of our 62nd independence.
Ooh, 60-second already.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're 62 years old. Yeah.
That's pretty old.
Mm-hmm. Today is a special episode because we're gonna talk about someone special, someone really meaningful to the country.
Wow,
Yeah.
someone
And
special.
Also somewhat, personal to me. We'll find out, next why. Dude, when you were at school, I mean,
Yeah.
I think everyone did this. When you were at school, you had to draw the country,
Oh, yeah.
the country,
Draw the
well,
country's
we drew
flag.
the map also. We had to know how the map was, but we had to draw and color our map.
Yeah.
We had to draw and color our flag.
Flag.
Right? So that was pretty much a normal exercise for any kids at school. Right?
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
I think at that time we were only told what the colors meant, what the the number of the pointy star, the point at the stars,
Yep.
and the number of the
Stripes.
stripes on the
Yeah.
flag, and we're only taught up to that extent. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't think we've ever told who designed the Malaysian flag in the history books. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, comment below. So
Well,
today,
I definitely didn't learn that in school.
yeah, because I only found out about it 2005, 2006, 2007, around that. Only I sort of knew about it only because my mom told me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, so today we're gonna talk about Mohamed Hamzah,
Whoa!
the designer of the Malaysian flag.
Designer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mereka. Yeah.
Mereka.
Designer lah kan?
Designer is Mereka.
Mereka lah.
Mereka graphic?
Well, that's
Oh, that's graphic
there's no
design.
Photoshop back in those days. Okay, so why is it a special episode? As far as I'm concerned, because he is my grand uncle, man.
Oh, he's your grand uncle?
Yep, Mohamed
Whoa.
Hamzah is my grand uncle, my maternal grand uncle. So he was the designer of the Malaysian flag. So it's right there, the book right there. I think my other grand uncle sort of published this book in honor of his legacy, which is an awesome thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So right now,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Right now, if you sort of Google him up, he has a Wikipedia page, which is good because everyone ought to know who the designer of the Malaysian flag is.
True,
right?
true.
So what's gonna happen today is that we're just gonna talk a bit about what sort of event took place for our flag to be designed. And then we're also going to talk a bit about Mohamed Hamzah, his lifetime, what he did, who he was. And
Your
so
grunkle.
my grunkle,
Yeah.
my maternal grunkle. So we can just sort of, appreciate what he did for this country. My other grand uncle sort of published this book in honor of his legacy. So I think it is somewhat of a big deal for us, for someone to actually design the identity of a country.
Yeah.
Because flag has been a big deal even way back in medieval times.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
even before there were countries.
Yeah, before countries and all. I mean, when there's like big battles, I mean, they all were bringing their flags and stuff like that.
True.
I think if you read this, I was reading this book. Even back then, Hang Tuah, Laksamana Hang Tuah, the legendary Hang Tuah,
Whoa.
when he goes into battle, he would bring red flags.
A red flag?
Yeah, together.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, his army uses red flags.
Oh,
So
okay.
I guess that's to
interesting.
symbolize courage,
Courage,
or
yeah.
maybe blood of their enemy. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so different countries have their own different identities and all that stuff, right? So yeah, let's dive into it.
Hopefully it's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, Mohamed
Oh,
Hamzah,
Mohamed
Merdeka
Hamzah.
Cipta Jalur Gemilang.
Whoa.
So this book was given by my other grand uncle to my aunt. Right?
Your other grunkle
my
to
other
your
granduncle to my
aunt.
late aunt, yeah.
Ooh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it was given to her on the 31st of August,
Ooh, on
2007,
Merdeka.
on Merdeka Day.
Merdeka Day
so
itself.
that's kind of like, oh, it's a bit symbolic in that sense.
2007. Oh, that was quite some time ago.
Quite some time ago. So that's him.
Whoa.
Good-looking fella.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Like
Mohamed
has that
Hamzah.
classic vibe going on.
Yeah, very classy.
Yeah.
With the stash.
This is actually published by the Johor government, if I'm not mistaken. Persatuan
Oh.
Sejarah Malaysia Cawangan Negeri Johor. So
Wow.
kudos to those guys for making such a book. So as you know, we were ruled by the British way back then. So everyone know the Union Jack. So the Union Jack was pretty much dikibarkan and
Everywhere.
the whole of Persekutuan Tanah Melayu, or PTM, or the Federation of Malaya back in those days. So at the end of their rule, so there's this whole thing about, hey, after Malayan Union, right? So they wanted to figure out, hey, we need a new flag, right? After Malayan Union was disbanded, so the whole country was like, okay, we don't have a flag. So what are we gonna do? So guess what they did? Guess how we came about the latest Visit Malaysia logo?
A competition?
A freaking competition.
Also, even for this flag, it
So,
was by
The
through a
government,
competition.
the government back in those days, they actually announced a competition, a design competition for the
Wow.
public, hey, saying, hey, we need a flag, so we need your help. So, but they did.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So they did give a brief. So it says your designs are invited for a flag for the Federation of Malaya. The design should be as simple as possible and should be restricted to the colors yellow, red, white, and blue. So they've
Ooh.
already set the colors already, which is the color that we already know. It's still, they've already set the colors already. So a symbol such as a criss, crossed crisses, a tiger, or a crescent moon, I think that's a crescent moon or whatever, may be incorporated, but the general design should be symbolic of the Federation and the unity of the 9 states and 2 settlements at that
9
time.
states?
Yeah,
Oh,
at that
back
time.
then it was-
yeah.
okay.
Design should be submitted to, the Clerk of Council's Chamber, such a cool name.
A clerk of
The Clerk of
Council.
Council's Chamber, Kuala Lumpur, and should be received in his office on or before 10th of September 1949.
Whoa,
so
1949.
1949. So the design, the competition was announced in 1949 to the public through Malay Mail on 10th of August
Malay
1949.
Mail?
So
Wow.
10th of August, which means the public has a month to
Yep,
to
around a
submit their
month,
design.
yes, yeah.
So I think that's when my granduncle sort of saw that post. It was like seeing a Facebook post, but he saw the newspaper post wherever. I think back in those days they probably put it in a big board where because sometimes
yeah,
people,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
if they don't buy a
Oh,
newspaper, they would go to the big ass papan kenyataan.
Oh,
and
so they
then
would, like,
they would
tapal
read
there.
they would read it's like they would read
Oh,
the
okay.
news there, so which is a cool thing. So now we do it. We sort of still do it.
I mean,
through
based
our
on
phone.
through our phones,
Yeah, on
just
Facebook.
swipe.
Yeah. Mohamed Hamzah, my granduncle, saw that post. It's like a Facebook.
Yeah, it's like a Facebook.
And he liked that post.
He liked that post. And then
and he joined, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I want to join this freaking competition." Right. So
he probably got tagged by his friends or something.
yeah, probably. In a way, tagging back then, he was like, his friends was like, "Hey, have you heard?"
Oh,
he
literally
he
tagging.
tagged his friend.
So that's
"Have
why
you-"
it's called tagging on
Yes,
Facebook.
I suppose so. Yeah. So check this out. This is Utusan Melayu.
Oh, it's in Jawi.
Back in the 40s, it's in Jawi.
It's in Jawi.
Yeah. So this is like just saying that. Oh yeah, there've been meetings. They actually met the kings also regarding the flag.
Ooh.
So after a month, there were 373
Whoa.
designs.
That's a lot of participants.
There's a lot of participants.
373
Yeah.
designs.
And
Possible designs for this flag.
Yeah, and
Whoa.
I think each participant can submit up to maybe 3 or 4 designs.
Oh.
Yeah. So all in all, there were 373 designs being submitted to the clerks of councils, and obviously they go for meetings
Yes.
to shortlist the designs, and at the end they chose 3 designs.
Oh, only three.
Only
out of
three.
The, out of the 373,
they chose 1%. the last, the best 1%, if my math is correct. So, what this book just described the first two. So the first flag has a crossed kriss in the middle, and it was surrounded by 11 five-pointed stars. So a kriss in the middle and 11 stars, which has 5 points. That's kind of cool. The second design is almost the same. I think it's from the same dude.
Oh, it's from the same dude.
Yeah.
One is V1, another
one
is
is
like V2.
PNG V1 flag underscore design underscore V1
underscore F.
Wow. Okay, so the second design is almost the same, except that the 11 stars, it was arranged in two circles.
Two circles, so it's like
circulating the same crossed krisses.
two circles, so it's like
I don't know. So if you, this is the first one. Yeah, we can't really see the color, but that was the first one. Okay. So the 11 stars form two circles.
so
Okay.
another one is
So it's
inside
like
the other.
5 inside and 6 on the outside, or something like that,
alright.
and then it's the same crossed krisses.
Yeah.
So the third one has 11 blue and white stripes. Now listen to that, blue and white stripes. 11 blue and white stripes with the moon and 11-sided star.
So instead of like red and white, it was like blue and white.
Yeah, so I think originally the flag, instead of red and white, it has blue and white stripes at the beginning. And
that kind of looks bizarre, like trying to imagine it.
By the way, this flag is called the Canton flag.
Canton flag.
Because it has this corner design that it's usually on the top left. So the US has this design.
Australia has it.
Design format. Australia has it, but they have the Union Jack.
Union Jack instead.
Liberia, if I'm not mistaken, has the same sort of Canton flag as well. Johor.
Johor is.
Negeri Johor has the same. I think Malacca also has a Canton flag as well. Yeah. So this is a Canton design, a Canton flag.
Flags has type of design.
Yeah, they have like a design type, you know. So my grand uncle Mohamed Hamzah submitted this, and it was originally blue and white stripes. So what happened was, so they had more meetings, and apparently my grand uncle's design won it. Okay. So
and plot twist.
Yeah. So I think from there's been more. I think a year later. Because here's February 1950.
It was in 1949.
1949. So a year later, not a complete year, but the following year, 1950, they finally, it's like clients. They made a meeting and finally they decided. Okay, so there's been a bit of a amendment. So apparently, one of the earlier designs was the crescent moon and the star was originally white. So the kings. I think particularly Sultan Kedah at that time suggested that the crescent moon and the star to be yellow.
So it was white
to represent Warna Diraja, the royal color.
Royal colors.
So there were further amendments and meetings. So and then they decided on that, in the opinion of this council, the flag of the Federation of Malaya should be as follows: 11 horizontal stripes, alternately red and white in color, the uppermost stripe being red, just like today.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And having a blue quarter with a crescent and 11 pointed star in yellow superimposed on top of it. All right. So it sounded like how it is now. Is just that the amount of stripes,
the amount of stripes, and the amount
of the pointy stars is a bit different, because at that time the whole of Malaysia was not formed yet. It was we're only talking about the Federation of Malaya, the peninsula, right? So yeah, it was also brought forward to King George VI, and
Whoa.
he liked it also, apparently. it received the royal decree.
He saw the post and he was like.
Yeah, it's like getting some influencer.
He's like getting some.
It's like that name with a blue tick.
Yeah, the name with the blue. King
liked it.
George.
King George liked your stuff. Yeah. So this is the letter that my granduncle Mohamed Hamzah sent to the clerk of council. So he said, I have the honor to submit herewith under registered cover 4 designs. So apparently he submitted 4 designs, but there has, I think maybe those other 3 designs were lost in time. I mean, they
Man, would
couldn't.
have loved to see.
Yeah, I would have loved to see the other 3 designs, but apparently,
not even like your family like kept any.
No, we don't even have it. Also, unfortunately. So yeah, he designed 4, and then he submitted. So this version won it. So yeah, and then this is like the A4 tracing paper that he used. So if you're wondering why it looked like an architect paper of sort, he was an architect.
Oh, he was an architect.
Yeah, he was an architect working for J.K.R. Johor. So he built buildings and he draws and stuff like that. So
I see.
Yeah, but check that out. This is like Photoshop final version. So it has all those lines for the measurements and stuff like that. I mean, but imagine that he actually drew those star.
Well, like free.
Obviously with ruler, but
still.
but with hand still,
Now everything is so easy.
No,
with digital.
no undos. And in Adobe Illustrator, you can just set how many pointers. How many points of the stars that you want to be in. So yeah, so this was everything in manual. So I just gotta stop and let's just stop and appreciate that for a bit. Back in 1949, he actually designed this. Yeah, everything has to be precise. So everything was by hand. So no control Z.
Yeah, no control
Z. Obviously, this is a saved version. I mean, if a coffee spilled on it, you gotta restart. Yeah, you gotta go for version 2 now, right? Or version 5 point whatever. But so that was the story. It started off as
a
competition.
Wow. So okay, I didn't expect like they would do that sort of thing like back then.
Yeah, apparently things never change.
Yeah, some things never change.
Yeah. I think I saw some post. Maybe someone I don't remember. Like they're saying, "Oh, why is our flag look like the American flag?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, this is the flag because it was the East India Company that was the British ruled us, and then it was under the East India Company.
Yes.
Right. This is like history. I just want to touch. I mean, I'm just not going into the detail, but it was the East India Company who was ruling Malaysia back then. It was these guys. So this is their flag.
It looks.
Yeah, this is their flag.
Yeah.
It looks like our flag now.
Yes. I thought you just replaced the Union Jack with
Canton design on the top left, and then the rest are all stripes.
Yeah.
And here's another thing.
Almost identical.
Yeah. The U.S. was under British rule.
They were.
It was under East India Company as well.
So they probably got their flag.
And while we have a bit of variation of design, the U.S. literally adopted it 100%. So this was the U.S. flag, the Grand Union flag. They just named it the Grand Union flag.
Grand Union flag.
So from here, it evolved to how the U.S. flag looked like now.
I see, with the stars instead.
Yeah. So I think another reason why my granduncle sort of adopted this design was because he served with the army.
Oh, with the British Army?
With the British Army during World War II. So I think
he must have seen.
So I think his connection with the military sort of
influenced
his design as well. So
that makes sense.
I think that's kind of interesting. It's not mentioned here, but I sort of assume maybe that's why. So yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. It was not until 2004 where there's this whole big question mark. People were like asking, who designed our flag?
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's just say that the flag was designed 1950, right?
Yeah.
It was not until 2004 where people say, "Hey, who designed that flag?"
What the heck?
You know. So my other granduncle, Abu Bakar, he actually fought his own crusade to actually preserve the legacy of his brother. So the archive was involved, which is kind of surprising because the archive didn't really have any record of his sketch or his
But
submission. So
shouldn't they be the ones to?
so it says here, berjam-jam cipta bendera and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
And so here's the thing: in this book, it was not mentioned what the winner received.
Oh.
Yeah. Tak pernah terima sebarang hadiah di atas hasil kerjanya.
Oh, okay.
He never received
It's
anything.
an unpaid job.
Just probably an exposure.
But he didn't get any exposure at all.
I don't know,
if
man.
people in 2004 are still wondering.
Posthumously, I guess. But only when my uncle made this whole hoo-ha, then the archive came in, the archive department came in. So they were like, okay, let's find the documents. So this is whole, shenanigans.
Baru nak cari.
Yeah, baru nak cari lah. Dah orang buat bising baru nak cari lah. So and then.
And this was like 1950s,
Yeah.
right?
And even the other guys who submitted the design, they also didn't know who they were.
Oh man.
So that's another thing also. But whatever it is, fast forward, they found his submission, the original sketch of that flag.
Oh, the one we just saw just now?
Yeah, in a freaking storeroom in JKR Johor.
In a storeroom?
In a freaking storeroom. Thank God the paper was
still intact, yeah.
waterproof. It's
waterproof.
It's one of those papers architect use, so it lasts a bit longer.
Okay.
So they found
That's close.
They found it.
Imagine
in
if
the
it was just on like normal A4.
Yeah, it is an A4 paper, but they found it. So this is the guy who found it. He found it in the storeroom. Can you believe that? Yeah, but this is a copy though. It says that it was a copy. I'm not sure. So it's not.
Oh, so it's not the original.
Yeah, it's not like original. But the record of it was in the storeroom, and they found it. Tiada hadiah, cuma record. Yeah, they just say, oh yeah, that guy did it, and everyone forgot about it.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. So
some things never change.
So even here, the story here says that they actually looked for it without anyone telling them. So it was up their own effort.
Oh, it's their own effort, alright.
Yeah, so so that's my other uncle, Abu Bakar. So he was like, yeah.
So he's your grunkle's brother.
Yeah.
That's
so
a pretty
that's
noble quest.
The little shenanigans that happens behind the scenes after so long.
After so long.
Yeah.
After so long.
Yeah. So yeah, he's an architect. So finally he has got his little handsome looking thing there.
Finally has the recognition he
deserves.
Yeah.
I think right now everyone sort of recognize Mohamed Hamzah as the designer of the Malaysian flag. So
now all we need is just to have it in our school books.
Yeah, that would be great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the final version. Kind of almost alike.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, but just the amount of stripes.
The amount of stripes and the stars.
Bunch of stars and stuff like that. The meaning.
That's the.
Yeah, this is the
underscore
current
F.
one. Underscore final.
Yeah.
This is underscore final.psd right there. A bit about himself, I guess. So he was born in Singapore back then when Singapore was part of the Federation.
Oh, okay.
In 5th of March 1918, and then he moved with his parents to Johor because at that time Johor's economy was booming.
Oh,
So
booming.
Yeah, booming. So he lived in Kampung Kubo, Johor Bahru.
That sounds like a very dreadful.
Yeah, but that's how they named it. His father was Hamzah bin Abdullah. So his name is not Muhammad Hamzah bin something. His name is Mohamed bin Hamzah.
I thought I was assuming Hamzah was his name.
Yeah.
So it's Mohamed
his
bin
name
Hamzah.
is Muhammad and his father's name is Hamzah.
Oh, okay.
His father Hamzah bin Abdullah, he was Chinese and some big shot.
Farmer.
Anak big shot Tauke Ladang dekat Segamat. Okay. And and then the mom Aminah binti Haji Tahir, she's Indian. She's an Indian Muslim.
Ooh.
So
whoa, okay.
A bit of rojak there agak lah. I mean Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese and Indian Muslim.
Yeah. So he got 4 wives, but the last 3 wives, the last 3 wives, he didn't have any like children of his own with the last 3 wives, so he adopted his children. But yeah, so these are like some quotes from the children, from the kids. I like this the most. Saya bangga dengan Abah yang mempunyai darah kacukan Cina dan India Muslim kerana bukan sahaja seorang bapa yang bertanggungjawab, malah menjadi idola kami sekeluarga. So yeah.
Ooh, there's like unity,
it's like,
sense of unity
he's
there.
Like, he's like rojak already. I mean, kalau nak cakap dia Melayu tak juga. He's like dah rojak. I mean, I just want to point that out because in light of recent event.
Yeah.
I just want to say, dude, let's look forward as a nation, okay? I mean, as a nation with so many ethnicity inside of this great country, you know? Let's just not look at our differences. Let's just use these differences to our advantage. Onwards, man. Onwards. Yeah.
I think he looks much cooler with a mustache.
I think that was like his. I'm not sure if this is because of his contribution, but he did receive like a medal. Maybe that's his exposure.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's from his army days or something.
Probably. But yeah, it was during that whole. I think maybe people back in those days they actually made a point to like if this is their picture, they would sign on it. I don't know. That was a signature.
That's what there's like all those signatures.
So I think it was like during that whole wild goose chase of them trying to find out who designed this thing, you know. So I think it was sort of finalized and confirmed. Who designed this thing? You know. So I think it was sort of finalized and confirmed because they found. Okay, because they found his letter when he submitted the design of the flags. That's his signature, and then this was his sketch, the one that he submitted, and that's his signature.
Oh, so they like sort of match it up.
Yeah, so they sort of say, okay, that's his.
Okay.
So that's how they sort of conclude that Mohamed Hamzah is the designer of the Malaysian flag. So remember, always watermark your work.
So that's old school watermarking. Is signing your work.
Yeah, you gotta sign. So that's why I was like, every single picture that he owned or he has, whatever, he has a signature on it. So yeah, there you go.
Like that one.
Yeah.
Well, that one is dated 1959.
Wow. So this is probably not. Yeah, it's like way
after he designed.
So I think because when he designed it, I think he was like 20 plus. He's still a young guy. He was still a young guy. Yeah. So what did you do when you were in 20 plus years old? This guy designed the Malaysian flag.
Man, I was failing my subjects in Merdeka.
He studied fine arts in Raffles College in Singapore.
Oh, Raffles.
So yeah, so he had his artsy side. I don't have any memories with him. Like I was too small to actually remember that much. But what my mom said is that because I used to draw also, so what happened was my mom told me that I would draw. I would be lying on my front and I'll be like scribbling on a piece of paper.
Ooh.
And then he would come from behind and say, "Oh, that's some nice little drawing." I think that's what my mom told me that that was like one of the many limited interactions that I have had with him.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you must be really young.
Yeah. I was still small. Career-wise, he was like working somewhere, and then
what a classic car.
Yeah. This is how when he worked in JKR. It was like that's a nice little wheel right there.
Yeah.
So I think he was like working somewhere until he decided, I can't really. I need to be creative. So I think that's why JKR sort of transferred him to a department where he can actually draw, build. He actually designed buildings and stuff around Johor at that time. So yeah, so it says here he has bakat. He mempunyai bakat dalam bidang seni lukis yang begitu tinggi. So I think that's why his skills were acknowledged and they recognized that. So yeah, so this was him when he was a small kid.
When he was a wee lad.
Yeah. So these are all his sketches, man.
Whoa, that's really good.
Yeah.
He can do portraits.
Yeah, portraits.
Oh, and even logo designs.
Logo design.
Whoa.
This is when he was in the army, Corporal Barnes. And then stuff that he did when he was 54.
Damn.
Yeah, he was still at it. He still got it at 54.
That artist spirit.
Yeah.
Jiwa artis.
And then this is the Gerbang Mahkota. I'm not sure if it's still around in Johor. It's at Complex Custom at Tambak Johor. So he designed this also. Okay. And that's him at the foot of it.
Oh, that's cool.
all these like army-ish sort of emblem.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all of that.
Oh, he designed like army medals as well.
Yeah, pretty cool. So he's into photography also.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he draws and
He draws.
he's
I mean,
also
pretty much
into
like a hipster lagu. Yeah. Yeah. So quite a life, and then until his final moment in 1993, he passed in 1993 for asthma. If I'm not mistaken.
Asthma?
Yeah, he had asthma,
Oh,
so he
yikes.
passed away in 1993. So yeah, that's his life, man. I mean,
He's a pretty interesting person.
yeah. Okay, and then we can actually spend a bit more time because the name Jalur Gemilang, the name of our flag, was not. It's not Jalur Gemilang until 1997.
1997.
Only in 1997 we had a name for our flag. I'm not
So
sure.
back in like the 50s.
I'm
it
not sure.
didn't have a
I'm not sure if they
name?
had any name. Maybe they named it flag. So in 1996, they had this like big meeting. But maybe this time they didn't really do a competition this time
Oh,
around.
it's not a competition.
So
It's just a.
it's like an internal. It's still a competition, but within the within the government. So I
see.
think.
So each like.
So each kementerian. So this one, Finance Ministry, Kementerian Perpaduan Negara Pembangunan Masyarakat, they all would propose the name for the flag.
Okay.
Kementerian Kewangan, they named it as Rukun, and Malaysia Raya.
Malaysia Raya.
Yeah. So
Well, just called Rukun. What?
maybe in homage to Rukun Negara.
Oh, the Rukun Negara.
So and then Kementerian Perpaduan Negara proposed the most names.
That's a lot.
Angkasa Jaya,
Angkasa Jaya.
Pusaka Sejahtera. Oh, look at that, Keramat Merah Putih.
Oh, okay, that one actually sounds
That's
cool.
awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Keramat Merah Putih because Merah Putih.
Oh, because Merah Putih.
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
that makes sense.
Alright, and then Cempaka Sari.
Oh, that sounds
Seri
like-
Alam. Seri Alam sounded like Shah Alam these days.
Yeah, inshallah.
Kibaran Muhibah.
Oh, Kibaran Muhibah.
It's like Muhibah is
Muhibah
like
is a danger.
no. That's Musibah.
Oh, that's Musibah.
Why would you name your Muhibah? I think it's like everyone togetherness in a sense. I might be wrong, but
okay.
Kibaran, everyone flow with the flag. Yeah. Panji Andika. Oh, that's cool also.
That sounds very Indonesian.
Yeah, but it's still it's a Malay word. Okay, almost. Jalur
almost.
Makmur. Bendera Agung. Right?
Very
It's
royal.
like the flag. Megah Indah. Okay, Malaysia Raya again. It's like they took it off the Kementerian Kewangan.
Yeah.
Barisan Teguh. Ikatan Persekutuan, all boring names.
Yeah.
I think it's like they just find out. What
They
else,
just
what
need
else?
filler names.
What else?
Filler.
Malaysia Abadi, Satria Warisan.
Oh, Satria.
Oh, look at this, Putra Jaya.
Huh? Oh,
I wonder if Tun M borrowed that name
Oh,
for,
but he just like removed the E.
for a particular city near Cyberjaya. Yeah. And Dewan Bahasa was in it also. Look at that. I mean, it's kind of poetic. Jalur Citra Nusa.
Wow.
Jalur because we have stripes.
Yeah.
Jalur Padu Nusa. What does Nusa mean?
What?
Nusa? Jogan Nasional. I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
Jalur Satria Negara, the national warrior.
National Warrior
The stripes of the national warrior. Wow.
Whoa.
Check this out. Jabatan Arkib Nusa.
What's that supposed to mean? The NUS.
Okay,
Nusa. Like it's a short form for something, but what?
the meaning of Nusa, it means negeri tempat tumpah darah. It's your country, like
Your country, okay.
the land. But I don't know why.
Because they made it into like an
I don't know why.
abbreviation or something.
Yeah, abbreviations like NUSA. So it's like negara you sangat awesome.
Perhaps. Totally what they were thinking.
Jabatan Museum and Antiquity, the Sang Perkasa Wangsa, Mega Sakti.
Mega.
Okay,
Mega.
and I think they won it. They named it as Jalur Gemilang.
There it is.
The Glory Stripes, or I would rather say the Stripes of
Glory. Yeah.
And then Urus Setia, just to finish up the list, Saga Merah and Wirawan Jaya. So yeah, so it's the museum guys who won it. I don't know what they got. Maybe also some exposure.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's
Wow.
kind of awesome. So and then 1997, we've got name.
Yeah.
Finally, the flag.
But so
finally-
many years
it
after.
finally have a name. I don't know, man.
After like how many decades of this flag not having a name?
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Ooh.
So
Mohamed Hamzah.
we hope you learn a thing or two. I definitely learned a lot. I think
Yeah.
Sufyan definitely learned a lot as well.
Yeah.
So
Very educational episode.
Yeah. In tribute to the designer of the Malaysian flag, Mohamed Hamzah.
You go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna end this episode. Selamat Hari Merdeka, guys.
Woo.
Selamat Hari Kebangsaan. Have a great one, and it's a long holiday too.
Yay!
Long weekend. So
Yep.
have a great one. Stay safe. We screwed up the video. Sorry. At least there's some photos and images you can take a look at. So just to end the video formally with our faces in. Yeah. See you in the next episode. Till then, have a nice day.
Bye.
Thanks for watching our show. Hope you guys like it.
Do hit subscribe and like our stuff.
And
Have a nice day.